I got a question for you. What is another word that you can spell with the word listen? What is another word that you can spell with the letters in the word listen? You got it, silent. So today in this 3-part series, we are going to be talking all about empathic communication and how to listen fully. And my name is Kristen Anker. I am a parent and teacher mentor, school consultant, and today we are going to be learning all about listening and speaking with expressing our feelings and our needs in a way that the person that we're talking to also feels heard and seen. So we're going to, there's 4 things to do. And this first part is about talking with our children. So you're going to take time to listen fully, and that is with eye contact. So you might actually have to get down to their level if they're smaller, or you might have to ask your teenage son to sit on a chair so you can really have that one eye contact. With a friendly expression, I need to remind parents this in our workshops of kind eyes. There is a difference, right? You can really see it in your eyes. So how can you have this friendly expression on your face? You're gonna name and validate their feelings. So feelings is such an amazing topic when you're working with schools and with families, because we all have different feelings, and it's something that I've been learning more about and continue to learn about. But when we do work within schools and we talk about positive discipline tools, a really great way to do this is we just use this like access, like kind of the 4 parts. And we say that there are 4 main feelings. And this is definitely for the younger child, because I know that there are 6 main feelings that we'll maybe talk about in another video. There's 4 main feelings. You can either feel sad, you can feel mad, you can feel glad, or you can feel scared. So this is usually what I'll do with, preschools up to the early elementary age. These 4 feelings are great. And I know I even have a chart here that will give you all different feelings. So those, that vocabulary, that's what we're trying to teach. So maybe they're scared, or they're afraid, or they're fearful, or they're frightened, or they're just surprised. So as you can see with all those words, that scared, maybe they're just confused or worried. All those words can feel scared, right? I feel scared. Or if you're mad, you could just be annoyed. That could just be, you should be annoyed. You could be angry. You could be jealous. You can feel hot. You can feel furious, frustrated, irate. So all these words, I love teaching this to teachers so that we can use these words with our students and with our kids to teach them. It's an emotional intelligence. And, but I think that is a really important thing to be aware of too. And I have so many great activities to talk about feelings. And so one of the things I do recommend, as I am a positive discipline facilitator, and you could probably even just get this online. I loved this for my kids. So it talks about, it shows a poster with all these different feelings. And I know that might be backwards for you. Once I get better on YouTube, I'll figure out how to do that. But I use this a lot with my kids when they were younger. And I remember a moment when one of my children did something that they shouldn't have done. They took something from a friend's house, and we don't steal. We don't steal in this family. So we had to have a talk about it because it was actually something pretty valuable. And we needed to get it back to the owners. So I had, my daughter did not want to talk to me about this, of course, you know, when they're shut down, but I just slipped this under her door and she circled one of the feelings. She felt guilty. She felt guilty. I didn't need to like blame and shame and yell at her. I knew she knew what she did was wrong and she felt guilty, and that is important. You know, mistakes are just opportunities for learning, so we're all going to make mistakes. But one of the things that you can do, and I'll maybe change this with speaking with your spouse, because not only do I, you know, work with children, but I also work with the adults and the communication that we have. And one of the best processes that I do teach in schools and I teach with couples is the you feel process. And this is, it is based on the work of Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. He wrote Nonviolent Communication, and I can talk all about that in another video. But I want to keep this simple, and this is all you need to know is this one script, and it's you feel blank about or because blank, and you wish. You feel one word, so a feeling is one word. You feel one word about whatever the situation is, and you wish. And sometimes the and you wish, if you need to bring a little light into the, you know, situation, because this is obviously like, I'm talking about a difficult situation, a mistake, and you wish, maybe you can and you wish in fantasy. And that's something I learned by these two amazing authors, in How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk, Adele Faber and Elaine Maslish. And I love both of their books. I have the other one here too. I gotta reread this one for the fourth time. Siblings Without Rivalry. So excellent. Both of these are excellent books. And this is based on the work of Dr. Haim Gnu. So Dr. Haim Gnu and Dr. Marshall Rosenberg are the two philosophies that I follow, as does Positive Discipline with this you feel process. But really, and obviously this is it, like how to talk so kids will listen. And listen, remember? Silent, listen so kids will talk. So here's a couple examples about this using this you feel. And maybe, you know, it sounds like you feel hurt because Jerry didn't ask you to do that project, and you wished you could get involved in everything. I know you wish you could get involved in everything, or you know, you're listening. Sounds like you feel, you know, upset or sad because you know, and whatever. And I might use an example that I have here with a child's response. You feel angry when Mark grabs your toy and you wish he would get another toy. Or, you know, it sounds like you feel sad about daddy asking your sister to go to the park without you, and you wish that he would take you too. So you're using this you feel because we're going to be introducing these feelings words that we talked about, but also you are really helping them to calm down too. And we are calming down as well. And then we can always teach the I feel statement, which is another great script, very similar to the first one. I feel blank, one word, because blank, and I wish. Sometimes just thinking of this script, it'll help you to get back into your prefrontal cortex if you flipped your lid, and you can think about it because you're like, okay, Kristen told me I have to put it in a script. I feel really frustrated right now that the kitchen is a disaster, and I wish you would clean up after yourself. I might be talking to my 14-year-old right there, but that is, I'm stating my feelings, my needs, and my observations, but trying to be objective to it. So definitely let's listen to part 2 where I'm going to delve deep into Dr. Marshall Rosenberg's work with nonviolent communication. So watch that next one. All right, have a great day. And remember, what should you do when you're trying to be listening? Listen. Silence, and also silence up here. Don't be thinking about the next thing that you're about to say. All right, see you in the next video.